Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Volvo Christian, and also welcome to this model year 23 Volvo C40. So this is a press car that I'm lending for a couple of days from Volvo Car Norway. I'm currently on a road trip heading towards Studless, but I have stopped here at Fagernes to charge it up. So as I said, this is a model year 23 single motor front wheel drive. This is the first time I'm testing the front wheel drive single motor option. So I was really curious to how this would perform, and this video will primarily be about that. The driving experience that I have gotten the last couple of days with this front wheel drive C40. But I'm currently connected at this Kopple rapid charger at Fagernes. Kopple are my sponsor here on the channel, so make sure to check them out and their awesome app. I'm really grateful for my sponsorship from Kopple. They provide me with electricity to do these tests. You see now my state of charge are already at 71%. I've been charging here for 25 minutes. I connected at 0%, so I've been blasting away at this 180 kilowatt charger, but if two cars connect they will split the charge. The highest speed I've noticed now was like 136. Let's jump in. We're now down to 80 kilowatt at 72% state of charge. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus again. While I jump in. It's really cold outside. Holy crap. Oi, oi, oi. My fingers are freezing. It's really awesome to have heated steering wheel on such cold days. I've been using that a lot. Oh, yeah. So it's minus 12 degrees outside, but it feels like even lower. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. See my state of charge, 73%. And I will now very soon disconnect. Maybe I will leave it until 80% to get a time for the charging session, and then I will head over here, grab some pictures and continue this video with my driving experience and review of this car. So we will be jumping over to that one. You're joining me again at the parking area just next to the Kopple charging station that's just over there. It is now a great opportunity to feast your eyes on this amazing view. Yeah, including the C40. Just look at this. So we're at Fagernes. Beautiful location. And as you see, it's already getting darker. The clock is just around 3 o'clock. But as you see, we are losing daylight. So that's why I stopped here. I will soon start my way back towards Oslo. But for today's video, it's all about the C40 and the single motor front wheel drive. So this is the first time I'm testing Volvo's front wheel drive electric cars. I had a short run in a Polestar 2 single motor, but this is the first time with Volvo's version, and also the first time on snow and ice. And this is, as I said, a model year 23. So for the model year 23 in the single motor option, that means front wheel drive, and it's a motor on 231 horsepower. The battery are about 69 kilowatt with the usable capacity of 67 kilowatt hours. That's the usable capacity. But from model year 24, Volvo will do a huge change. Instead of a front-wheel drive setup for the single motor, they will move over to a rear-wheel drive motor. And in the all-wheel drive, so the recharge twin option, we will have a stronger rear motor and a weaker front motor, giving us a rear-wheel biased all-wheel drive system. But for more information about that, head back to my YouTube channel afterwards and go like 1.5 weeks down, and you will find a video about all the changes for model year 24, including the bigger battery at 82 kilowatt hours. So that's really exciting. But this one, as I said, battery on about 69 kilowatt hours, usable 67. And this is the front wheel drive. We are running on 19-inch tires, winter tires, wrapped in Continental Viking Contact 7 Studless winter tires, so friction tires. I've driven these now for I picked up this car last Tuesday, so I've had it like for five days, and I've driven it on snow, and also we had some icy conditions the last days when driving back and forward to work. And obviously there was a bunch of wheel spin when driving on ice. You don't stand a chance when you're driving with studless winter tires on just ice. It was so damn slippery, and that's one of the challenges I've experienced with this front wheel drive setup, because this car are pretty darn heavy. And I have a little slope, I don't know if this was accurate, a little slope up to where I live, and also to my parking area at the elementary school where I work. There's a little slope, and it was I don't know what the English word is for ice, just totally iced road. It hasn't been salted or covered in like gravel or sand and such, so it was all ice, and I was spinning like crazy because you get a not so fortunate weight balance in the car when you are on a little slope, and then you will get a bunch of wheel spin. It would be actually better with a rear wheel drive setup in that case, I think, because you get the weight in the back. And like 2 weeks ago I tested the Volkswagen ID bus. That was also single motor, but that was rear wheel drive, and with 204 horsepower on the rear axle in a heavy ID bus. That was a slip and slide car, because when you slipped or lost traction on the rear axle, you were sliding. It was really tail happy. This one are much more controlled actually. I haven't experienced so much that I've lost traction just on ice, but on snow it actually copes really good. Maybe due to the awesome tires. But there's one thing that I mentioned. When I first slip or lose traction in the front, that has happened twice this test period. It is actually more scary, at least for me, because when I'm in a bend, in a corner, and I suddenly lose traction on the front, that's actually more scary than if I lose traction in the rear, at least in my opinion. I think for me it's easier to control when the tail came out. I just have to jump in. God, it's so cold. Holy crap. I just have to get some heat in my fingers again before we will continue this video. I should just put the phone here so I can get some heat. So we're back again. I just had to take a break to get some heat in my fingers. It's crazy cold outside. As you see, it's negative 13 degrees. So I needed some heat. But as I said when we were outside, 2 times in this test period I have experienced to lose traction when driving the C40 in a corner on snow-covered roads, and that has been actually quite scary. It's been a long time since I've driven a front-wheel drive car. I think I have to go back all the way to my V60 Ocean Race D4. That was front-wheel drive, but after that I've pretty much only driven all-wheel drive cars, mostly plug-in hybrids, but also some cross-country versions with the Haldex setup. So it's been many years since I've driven a front-wheel drive car. But 2 times, as I said, I've lost traction and the car was just sliding forwards in a bend. That was actually quite scary. It's more, at least for me, easier to control or respond when the tail pivots out, as it did on the ID bus, or if I'm driving the Polestar 2, the dual motor, and I have too much power, like if you have the ESC in Sport. That is much easier to control, and for me, I'm more familiar with that kind of driving, maybe due to playing Need for Speed in my childhood. It's easier to drift a car than when you lose traction in the front, so that was actually quite scary. But I think if I had adjusted the speed just slightly down, that wouldn't happened. So overall, I'm actually quite pleased with the front-wheel drive setup in this C40. In regards to the ice driving, you have to have studded tires. You won't stand a chance either way. So overall, I'm really pleased with the C40's front-wheel drive setup. And if we talk about power, the front-wheel drive has a motor on 231 horsepower, and that has proven to be actually decent enough. I've tested it both at kickdowns out of intersections and also a couple of overtaking situations today while driving up here at semi-high speed, and it is just enough power for that snappy and quick response. It's not as brutal as the twin motor with 408 horsepower, but it's more than enough for this C40 despite its heavy weight. So that was all about the driving experience, the motor, but I'm really excited to later in 2023 test the Model 24 C40 and XC40, because the new single motor will have a rear motor, stronger one on 238 horsepower, and then the extended range on 252 horsepower, both powering the rear wheels. So I'm really excited to see how the rear wheel drive C40 and XC40 will be. Now at least I got a benchmark for the front wheel drive experience, and this is actually pretty darn good. So for me, it's a huge thumbs up for the C40, even in the single motor configuration with the front wheel drive. Just adjust the speed in corners and make sure you have pretty good tires like this Continental Viking Contact. And if you're driving on ice, you have to be super careful either way. I'm actually considering getting studded tires for the first time, because when driving around here in Oslo and the eastern side of Norway, it's much more snow and ice than I'm used to when I was living in Bergen. So I'm actually considering getting studded tires for the Polestar 2 and the XC40 at some point. But I think I'm gonna end it here. with this awesome view of the C40 and also the Fusion Red. And I will now start my way back to Oslo. I hope you enjoy this video, the part 2 of my C40 experience. Part 1 I posted a couple of days ago. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. Overall, as I said, pretty pleased. The C40 are a really awesome car, comfortable and safe. If I have to make one complaint beside the inner mirror that I mentioned in the previous video, you see, because the roofline tapers down, the inner mirror are pretty darn useless. But I've also experienced one more thing, because when I was driving up here earlier today, I was driving on snow-covered and ice-covered roads that was had a thin layer of gravel and sand above it. I will try to put in a video of that. And it was really noisy, so the noise insulation for the first time I've noticed to be quite annoying with the C40. I wish it was slightly more isolated. I haven't complained about the noise insulation too much with these SPA cars, but today it was really darn annoying. So that was one big complaint. But I've got so much else that I'm a fan of. So overall, super pleased with my test drive. And now it's time to get into the heat again. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video. Take care and bye bye.